Meeting will now come to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
City of Romulus regular council meeting for Monday, February 10th, 2014. The roll will show that all members are present. Mr. Chair and Council, I'm submitting an amended agenda tonight. The amendment is adding item 5D. So the amended agenda reads as follows. Number 1, agenda, 2, minutes, 3, petitioner, 4, chairperson's report, 5, mayor's report, 6A, clerk's report, 6B, treasurer's report, 7, public comment, 8, unfinished business, 9, new business, 10, communication, 11, warrant 14-03, and number 12, adjournment. And a motion would be in order to accept the amended agenda as presented.
So moved.
Support.
It's been moved by Mr. Malkowski, supported by Mr. Kraut, for approval of amended agenda as presented. Roll call, Ms. Malkowski?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, agenda approved.
2A for approval are the minutes from the regular council meeting held February 3rd, 2014.
So moved for February 3rd, 2014.
Support.
Been moved by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Abdo, for the approval of the minutes from the regular council meeting held February 3rd, 2014. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Malkowski?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, minutes approved.
Number 3 are petitioners, and we do not have any petitioners on the agenda. Number 4 is the chairperson's report.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Tonight, we had a 5 p.m. study session on the Romulus Vision Plan process. At 6 p.m., we had policies and procedures and an ethics ordinance. And at 6:30, we had proposed amendments to purchasing ordinance. At this time, I'd like to get some information from our interim superintendent of Romulus Community Schools that the board president, Teresa Beard, wanted to communicate. And it reads, Dear Romulus Community and School staff, the Romulus Community Schools Board of Education is beginning a research for a new superintendent of schools. As a part of the research process, we are interested in receiving input from community and staff, including ideas and viewpoints about characteristics and competencies relevant to the position. It is our intent to widely recruit and to use all possible suggestions for evaluating candidates. We would encourage you to attend an open forum conducted by the Michigan Association of School Boards Consultants, Marie Miller, on Thursday, February 13th, 2014 at 9:30 a.m. or 6 p.m. in the Romulus High School auditorium. Marie Miller will provide an overview of the search process and receive input from community members regarding the criteria to be used in evaluating candidates. Please feel free to share this with members of any community or staff group that you belong to and issue them. We would welcome their individual contribution or their input into a group statement. If you are unable to attend, a letter or card listing ideal and viewpoints about characteristics and competencies, a superintendent may be sent to Superintendent Search Services, Michigan Association of School Boards, 1001 Continental Way, Lansing, Michigan, by Friday, February the 28th, 2014. It is also important and possible to visit the district website, www.romulus.net, and fill out a short online survey if you are unable to take part in any of the above listed opportunities or simply would like to offer additional feedback. And I would like to also mention that what is the meaning of Black History Month? The 1920s and 1930s was a time when the Harlem Renaissance helped to foster a new Black cultural identity. In 1926, Dr. Carter Goodwin Wilson, a Black historian from Kentucky who earned a PhD from Harvard, established what is now annually celebrated as Black History Month. Originally called Negro History Week, Black History Month was created by Dr. Woodson after he noticed the lack of attention paid to Black Americans in the history books. What's the significance? The month of February was chosen because Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln had birthdays in that month. In 1915, Woodson took on the challenge of writing Black Americans into history by organizing the Association for Studies of Negro Life and History, which was recreated to collect, preserve, and document the achievements of Black people. The time frame Black History Month is annually celebrated in February as a celebration of the many contributions made in the United States around the world by those of American descent. The benefits, Dr. Wilson strongly believed that documenting Black history and educating the public were both vitally important ingredients to the progress of race relations and progression of lives of Black Americans. With this, it's just so important that each organizations or history be recognized. And Dr. Wilson, who died April the 3rd, 1950, and left Black History Month as his legacy, was introduced into the National Inventors Hall of Fame in 1990. With that concludes my chairman's report.
So moved to accept the chairperson's report. Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Choke, supported by Ms. Makowski, to accept the chairperson's report. Roll call. Ms. Choke?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Number 5 is the mayor's report.
Good evening, council, treasurer, clerk, and members of the public here. Kind of along the same lines there, Chairman, with the birthdays, I do have an Abraham Lincoln quote, and it goes as this: no man is good enough to govern another man without the other's consent. And we've all been there and gone through that process, so that's an awesome quote. One of the few things I wanted to mention in my report before I get into the regular business, we all know it has been a tough winter. The record books tell us it's one of the heaviest snowfalls we've had, or close to it. We're on record to have that. It's been one of the coldest winters that we've had up to this point. So it's unusual that we get both. A lot of times we'll get heavy snow and real cold temperatures, but we have sure been hit hard with it. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to give a shout out to our DPW road crew who have been out, many of them, too many to mention, but they know who they are, who have been called upon that duty to get out all different hours, weekends, evenings, so that our streets are clear. I don't know if the public realizes how much hard work and time and cost goes into those snow removal efforts, but it's huge. Not just the overtime, but the fuel, the salt. A lot of communities have been hit hard with their budgets and snow removal. One of the things that I plan to ask for is I do have a meeting with Michigan Municipal League, their executive director, and I'm going to try to see if for some way, shape, or form, the budget surplus that we have in Lansing, they will possibly consider shedding some extra dollars to communities in southern Michigan. Past practice, they have done that for northern Michigan communities, but maybe on behalf of all the communities in MML, they can at least lobby our cause, is what I'm going to ask. But a lot of work goes into snow removal, and there's more than just the road crew. We've had probably more record requests for mailbox replacements, pothole fixes, With the cold weather and with the snow comes all those other things along with it. So as much as we love to have the streets clear, and it's important that we adhere to snow emergencies and everything else, there are issues that come along with it. So I want to thank the public for their patience. Couple comments I've heard from people is, wow, we had more kind of this crusty ice on some of the subdivisions than we've ever had before. One of the reasons for that is with the cold temperatures, rock salt only works well up to a certain degree. And once it gets down into single digits, it's really wasting rock salt to put it out there because it's not going to do an effective job. So what we've tried to do, and you may see in some areas, is actually had people out. We've had road graders in part of our cleaning process, trucks, large dumps, small 1 tons. But you know, once we get the warmer temperatures, then the rock salt works great and we can get the streets clear. We're in pretty good shape now. Let's hope we can get through February and March. We still have a ways to go. But I just wanted to thank all those who have been diligent and patient with the public to make sure that our roads are clear and safe for all of us. A couple things coming up this week I did want to mention. We have Valentine's Day. I want to wish council and the public a happy Valentine's. Also, I wanted to wish Councilwoman Makowski a happy birthday. It's her birthday on the 14th. So happy birthday, Sylvia. And those were just some points of interest that I wanted to bring up. Under my report for business tonight, I have a few items I'd like to cover. The first is the recommendations for approval of DDA appointments of Pastor Bob Harper with a term to expire July 31st, 2015, and Al Hinman with a term to expire December 31st of 2015, if you're so willing to approve those.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Support.
Serve on the DDA.
It's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Mr. Kraut, to approve the DDA appointment of Pastor Bob Harper with a term to expire on July the 31st, 2015, and Alan Hidman with a term to expire on December 31st, 2015. Any discussion? Hearing none. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you for that, Council. Next up, under 5B, I have a request to authorize payment for a change order for bid 12/13-19. That's the Middle Belt Road Water Main Replacement project that goes from Wick to 94. The amount is $81,952.45. The funds come out of the water and sewer, and this has been submitted by Brico Excavating. They were doing some directional boring, and when you do that, it's better to do that, but sometimes you run into things that you don't know what are underground, and it's a few surprises. So that's what occurred in this situation.
Any motion?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Ms.
I'll
Roscoe?
make that motion to authorize payment for the change order to bid 12-13-19 Middle Belt Road Water Main Replacement, Wick to I-94, in the amount of $81,952.45 as submitted by Brico Excavating Company.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Choate, to authorize payment for the change order to bid 12/13-19 Middle Belt Road Water Main Replacement between Wick to I-94 in the amount of $81,952.45 as submitted by Brico Excavating Company, LLC. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, Council. 5C, next request is to authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into a preliminary engineering services agreement with Norfolk Southern Railway Company, and that's for the proposed construction of a sidewalk along Wayne Road underneath the railroad there at the I-94 Wayne Road Bridge, not to exceed $12,000. And that's part of the project next year you'll see with a sidewalk from Goddard to the high school.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Ms. Abdo?
I motion to authorize the mayor and the clerk to enter into a preliminary engineering services agreement with Norfolk Southern Railway Company for the proposed construction of a sidewalk along Wayne Road underneath Norfolk Southern milepost D-18.5 bridge and I-94. The cost not to exceed $12,000.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Abdo, supported by Ms. Makowski, to authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into a preliminary engineering service agreement with Norfolk Southern Railway Company for the proposed construction of a sidewalk along Wayne Road underneath Norfolk Southern milepost D-18.5 Bridge and I-94. The cost not to exceed $12,000. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Ms.
I just want to say thank you. It's about time. I'm always worried about someone getting squished there.
Yeah, you're not kidding. There's been some close calls. I've witnessed some tough situations, and this will allow safe passage, once it's all done, for pedestrian traffic from Goddard to the high school on the west side.
Mr. Chair.
Yes,
Can I
Ms.
ask a
Choate.
question? Is this just for one sidewalk or is sidewalk on both
This
sides?
is just for the portion of the rail. The whole project is scheduled for 2015, and it's going to be a complete reconstruction. It was actually a huge federal project that we were awarded. It'll start in 2015, but this is just for the railroad portion, and it'll be on the west side. Correct, west side.
West side.
One side, west side.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Roll call vote. Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. McCoskey?
Yes,
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Crowell?
yes,
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you for that, council. Last item is 5D. This is the one we amended, and this is to authorize the mayor and clerk to sign a local firework delegation agreement recognizing Fire Chief Dave Allison as the delegate for the city of Romulus to authorize and perform firework delegation inspections and duties. This is a form that we file with the state. 70% of the fee actually will come to the city. These are for the people that are selling retail fireworks.
Mr.
So-
Chairman,
Yes, Ms. Choate?
I'd like to make the motion that we authorize the mayor and clerk to sign the local fireworks delegation agreement recognizing Fire Chief David Allison as the delegate for the city of Romulus, authorized to perform firework delegation inspection duties.
support,
The motion by Ms. Choate, supported by Mr. Crowell, to authorize the mayor and clerk to sign a local fireworks delegation agreement recognizing Fire Chief Dave Allison as the delegate for the city of Romulus, authorized to perform fireworks delegation inspection duties. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Mr. Crowell?
yes,
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you very much. That concludes my report.
6A is the clerk's report. I have 3 items listed under my report this evening. Under 6A1, for second reading and final adoption is Budget Amendment 1314-12, General Fund, in the amount of $8,503. This was introduced at the council meeting of February 3rd, 2014. This is to reimburse Wayne County for their costs for the recount of the November 2013 general election conducted on December 2nd and 3rd, 2013.
So moved, Mr. Chairman, for second reading and final adoption of Budget Amendment 13/14-12, amount of $8,503.
Support.
It's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Roscoe, for the second reading, final adoption of Budget Amendment 1314/12, General Fund, in the amount of $8,503. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Mr. Crowell?
yes,
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair vote yes, motion approved.
6A2 is a request for an approval to attend the MAMC Institute and Masters Academy. I'm respectfully requesting approval to attend the Clerk's Masters Academy from March 18th through the 20th, 2014, and also for the Deputy Clerk to attend the MAMC Clerks Institute from March 9th through the 14th, 2014. Both of these academies are held, or institutes are held at Mount Pleasant, and this is to continue, for our continuing education classes to meet the requirements for the CMC and the MMC certifications.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Ms. Roscoe?
I'll make that motion to approve the request to attend the MAMC Institute and Master Academy for the clerk and the assistant clerk, deputy clerk.
I'll second that.
Motion by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Mr. Makowski, for the approval to attend the MAMC Institute and Masters Academy from March the 18th to 20th in Mount Pleasant, Michigan for the clerk, and from March the 9th to the 14th in Mount Clement for the deputy clerk. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair, if I may?
Yes, Ms.
Just
Becker.
looking at the training, it is local training. Also, there is 8 training days included, and it's a total of $1,050 for the training. So it looks like a very good value for the money, so.
So, yes, exactly. Roll call vote. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
6A3 is a request to approve appointment of FOIA coordinator and city FOIA policy. MCL 15236 requires that the public body of a city designate a FOIA coordinator. Therefore, I'm requesting council to adopt a resolution appointing myself, the city clerk, and my designee as the FOIA coordinator for the city of Romulus. I'm also requesting a resolution to approve the attached FOIA policy and fee schedule, which was reviewed by council in the study session held on February 3rd, 2014.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Ms. Choate?
I'd like to make a motion that we appoint Ms. Craig Bragg as the FOIA coordinator, and that we approve the attached FOIA policy and fee schedule as requested.
Discussion. I'm just kind of curious, how many FOIAs do we average a year? Can anybody tell me? Does anybody know?
Live last week.
I was
No
just
estimate,
curious.
maybe.
Somebody called me and asked me about it.
The FOIA was previously done in the finance, and as you know, it transitions to clerk, so maybe Deb, you could tell us approximately how many a year.
It depends. We would typically, in a normal week, process maybe 3 to 5, and, an unusual week, we could be processing 15, 20, so it depends.
All right. I just got a question from a resident called me, and they were asking me about it. I said I'd find out for them. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kraut. Do I have a support on that motion?
Support.
The motion by Ms. Choate, supported by Mr. Wadsworth, to request the approval appointment of the FOIA coordinator and city FOIA policy. Any discussion?
Just a quick clarification. We're requesting that we appoint the city clerk as well as the city clerk's designee as the FOIA coordinator, and then the resolution for the policy and the fee schedule, right?
Yes,
All those
right.
4 items. Okay, just thank you for the clarification.
Okay, you're welcome. Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. Before I close out on my report, I just want to remind everyone of the Soul Food Dinner this Wednesday, February 12th. It will be held at the Romulus High School cafeteria from 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. The jazz band will be playing. They will be accepting donations, and the donations will go towards the Romulus Middle School's activity fund. And we hope to see everybody out this Wednesday. Mr. Barton, I will not put you on the spot this time, so I was hoping that we'd get some of his good old greens.
Oh, I was
but-
looking forward to be put on the spot, too. Okay. Thank you, Ms. Bragg.
And again, before I close, I just want to remind everyone, don't forget to stop by the display. Again, this is Black History Month, and we would like to thank Jasmine Bennett, Robert Dickerson, and Roger Cadu for a great job. And it's a nice display. It's honoring African Americans that are residents of Romulus who've made tremendous contributions to this community. So thank you, and again, stop by and observe and look at the display. Very nice job. And that will close out the clerk's report, and 6B is a treasurer's report.
Good evening, council, mayor, clerk, and audience. Just a reminder, I gave the dates last week, but I just want to remind everybody again this week that we are closed 3 different days. We are closed on Wednesday, February 12th, and Monday, February 17th. Those are both holidays. And then we are closed on Friday, February 21st, which is a furlough day. So please plan accordingly. Finally, it is tax week. Taxes are due February 14th. And then we have, Monday is the holiday. So the office is open from 8 to 4, so if you want to come in, we'll be happy to take your payment in the office. Again, there is the drop box out front. As long as your payment is in the drop box by Monday, February 17th, we will empty it first thing Tuesday morning, 8 o'clock in the morning. That is considered on time. Must be in the drop box by 8 o'clock a.m. Tuesday, February 17th. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Treasurer.
Number 7 is public comment, and this is a portion of our meeting where those of you in the audience have an opportunity to address council with your comments. If you would like to address council, raise your hand. After you've been acknowledged, approach the podium stating your name and your address, and we ask that you please limit your comments to 3 minutes, and we do not have any written requests this evening.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, since there's no written request, is there anyone in the audience? Ms. Williams?
Good evening, Mayor, Council, Clerk, and Treasurer. Virginia Williams. I would just like to make a statement on the four-year policy. I am so glad Mr. Burcroft, this is so irritating. Mr. Burcroft have put the different ones in training to understand the definition of a FOIA request, because I tried to get them to understand it couple years ago, and they just refused. I was charged, and I'm sure, and I hope Ms. Braggs understand this now, you have to use the lowest paid employee to do the FOIA. Appreciate that, because I was charged with this ridiculous amounts using Tim Keys and other employees. That's probably the top salaries. So I appreciate that, Mr. Burcroft. For Mr. Kraut's information, whether it be a business or other citizens, I can average anywhere this time on a good day, maybe about 5 to 6. So the FOIA request, the FOIA ordinance is needed. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else in the audience? Ms. Walker? Okay, come up to the speaker, Ms. Walker.
I just needed to ask a question to Mrs. Braggs, the FOIA coordinator and designee. Is this a new employee?
Yes, it's a part-time employee that will be handling all of the FOIA requests.
Okay.
Yes. By just, if I want to add, Ms. Walker, by having a policy now in place, and, we'll be consistent with guidelines, but we want to make sure that we are providing the service for the community and that we're, being thorough and efficient with doing that. Because it is a big job, and we want to thank Ms. Hoffman for all the years that she put in and, wearing so many hats and managing the FOIA.
Thank you, Ms. Walker. Yes, come up. Good evening.
Greta Golf, 6123 Swan Lake Drive. I have a statement, my question. On February 6th, between the hours of 10:30 a.m. and 3:30 p.m., officers from the Romulus Police Department seized a number of vehicles from inside of the Fairways at Gateway Subdivision. The impound fee for each vehicle was a minimum of $245. At the time of the seizing incident, my mother was being serviced by her visiting nurse. No spaces were available to park in my driveway because that's where the nurse was. Thus, my guest, who came around that same time, parked in front of my house. Her car was towed. She's visiting me. Her car was towed. We didn't know that her car was towed. We thought it was stolen when we came outside. There was nothing left on our door to say what happened or anything. So my question is that my statement is that I propose a thorough investigation be conducted as to the protocol pertaining to vehicle seizures and that why there was not ample notice given to residents to remove their vehicles from the street. I contacted the police department, and one of the personnel members there said that when there are 3 inches of snow or more on the ground, that's considered a snow emergency. Last month, we received a robocall from the mayor. I asked, why did anyone send us a robocall? He couldn't answer that question. What I'd like to find out is who the officers were that removed these vehicles. I don't go by hearsay, so I'm not gonna even entertain those statements that I heard from other, well, actually, the police officer told me that these particular officers went through the neighborhood with a bullhorn, announcing that cars would be towed if they weren't immediately removed. When I went online and I looked at the Romulus website, make sure I have this here, there is an ordinance department that covers various ordinances and codes within the city. It says here, and I quote, "Violators of city codes are given a written warning with 10 days to comply. Failure to comply results in a citation being issued, which requires a court appearance." My question is, why would the police not give ample time for residents to move their vehicles from in front of their homes? So I would like that investigated. I don't know who's responsible for that, but it's very,
Yeah, you'd like
Mr. Chairman, if I could,
disturbing to me.
if we could get your contact information, we'd be happy to check into it and report back to you on that.
Sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
We'll get with her and thank you.
Is there any other comments in the audience? Okay, we will close out that part.
Unfinished business. 9 is new business. 10, communication. Number 11 for approval is warrant 14-03.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Ms. Choate.
I'd like to make a motion that we pay warrant 14-3 in the following amounts. General Operating Fund, $336,183.38. Major Street Fund, $3,839.28. Local Street Fund, $440.53. Street Lighting, $44,826.28. Sanitation Fund, $82,524.41. Community Development Block Grant, $74.89. 911 is $23,708.07. Law Enforcement, $80. Narcotics Enforcement Fund, $2,401.26. Water and Sewer, $454,272.28. Motor Vehicle Fund, $11,702.02. Technology Services, $6,683.43. Retirees Insurance Benefits, $204,479.91. And Payroll Fund is $249,098.31, for a grand total, $1,420,314.05. Support.
Been motioned by Mr. Choate, supported by Mr. Makowski, to pay warrant number 14-03 for a total of $1,420,314.05. Any discussion? If not, roll call vote. Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Mr. Makowski?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Warrant number 14-03 will be paid.
All right, number 12, adjournment.
So moved.
Support.
Been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Roscoe for adjournment. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. We are adjourned, and thank you.